What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Thank Yous Part 2, because I was half brain dead before. I've had some food in me, and me and Carrie were talking, and she was like, there are people that you didn't thank that you should have thanked. And I was like, oh, shit. And literally, because I was depleted, honestly, I was water depleted, I was food depleted, I didn't feel good. I had a big sandwich, I'm good to go. I want to thank Laurie Sandberg from the gym. Laurie's always been very supportive of me, and she's been texting me all day. She's a good friend of mine. Katie Yee and Greg Furnack. Did I say that right?
Furmanek?
I have the hardest time. Sorry, Greg, I'm butchering your name. But they actually drove from Maryland to Delaware to come to the prejudging this morning, and that means a lot. Because I'm not in my hometown, I'm not in my home state. I don't have my home crowd or my peeps with me, and you guys came up, which I really appreciate. So thank you very much. And Greg, good luck in your powerlifting meet next week. I know you're gonna crush it. You pulled that 600, 620.
Six something
Raw with no belt or nothing, shoeless, like a barbarian. You pulled it
ridiculously cool.
I want to thank Eric Eckenrode from our gym. Eric was the 1986 North Americans middleweight champion, and he was kind of, I don't want to say egging me on, but he was like, yeah, man, I think like the 185 mark. It's like, because you're 191 now, and I think like that 185 mark is probably where the separations will come in and you'll look super hard. And he was actually right. I mean, he's got experience, and he's one of those guys that I look up to that knows what he's looking at when he's looking at it. So, I want to thank Eric for being there, encouraging me not to stay with a weight in my head to make sure that I came in fat again in that condition. Kevin Levrone. Kevin, very good friend of mine. I consider him one of my closest friends, who in 2009 was the first person who ever got me to believe in myself. Kevin trained me for the Pittsburgh, where I placed fourth. And then, at that point, I hadn't really placed in a big show like that. And placing in the top four against national contenders that were re-qualifying, being the lightest guy at 199, I said, if I place fourth, do you think I can win the Maryland? And he looked at me and said, yeah. He said, of course you can win the Maryland. He's like, don't you think you can win it? This is actually the conversation we had. I said, I don't know. He said, you don't believe in yourself? He said, always believe in yourself. You make a decision, you see it through, you stick to it. Always believe in yourself and your decisions, and you'll never go wrong. You'll always go in the straight line, and you'll have your little ups and downs, but you'll always get to your end goal. And that's when I really started believing in myself. I went on a couple weeks later to re-qualify again at the Maryland, again second place. So I was knocking on the door, getting better placings because I believed. And in my whole life, I had no one actually tell me that I needed to believe in myself to further myself. So thank you, Kevin. And he's always there. I talked to him today at the show, and how's everything going? How you feeling? Make sure you eat your meals, stuff like that. I want to thank Sean Ray for all his encouragement and support. Just texting back and forth, encouraging me, keep going, push harder. And his funny little text that he puts in with the pictures of like Beetlejuice and stuff. He's a good dude, Sean. His show's coming up next week. And I got to thank the one guy. I can't believe I didn't thank this guy. Phil Hernan, IFBB Pro, Phil Hernan, my coach, who has taught me a whole new way of training, dieting, the way of looking at cardio, the way of looking at everything I've done in the last 20 years changed 2 years ago when I met Phil. Oh, not when I met Phil, when I started training with Phil. And those mid-range reps came from him. The diet with the fruit came from him. And he really has a different way of doing things that I adopted. And today I showed that those strange ways that they used to make fun of Phil for it, back when he was coming up the ranks, and then he beat Craig Titus. Craig Titus was favored to win the USA's. He beat Craig Titus and became an IFBB Pro, one of the most massive suckers out there at his height. One of the nastiest, driest dudes out of nowhere, not even eating any protein. He'd drink liquid beef aminos, do quarter reps, and do push-ups and dips instead of bench presses. He was gigantic, and he would train everything like 2 or 3 times a week. They were like, how the hell? This doesn't make any sense. So after 20 years, Phil Stoll taught me new things, and I have to thank him for allowing me to bring my physique to that next level and accomplishing what I did today. So that's another thing that I should have. Diet brain got the best of me. So I hope that I'm not leaving anyone else. If I am, I'm really sorry, but I've only had... Are you leaving anybody else out?
I'm thinking.
That you can think of offhand? Well, Mark Pearl. Mark Pearl has encouraged me. When I see him in the gym and stuff, he's like,
Steve Reeves.
Steve Reeves. Wow, how can I forget Steve? Old friend of mine from many, many years ago, who I learned a lot of stuff from training and stuff, who owns the Hot Beverage Nutrition Company. And I've talked about this product, and I use this product twice a day, every day, through my prep, through the whole prep. Now, let's face facts. My immune system should have taken a beating from that weight that I lost. 2 packets of stuff a day kept my immune system boosted too. I didn't get sick. People around me got sick. Well, Carrie didn't because she rests and eats right. But I was dieting. I was sucking weight. I lost 50-something pounds. I was overtraining to a certain point. I should have gotten sick. If it were me, above anybody, being in the gym all the time with those germs, should have gotten sick. Hot beverage nutrition, I am convinced, is the reason why I didn't get sick. And I even have my dad, who's going through cancer treatments, taking the hot beverage nutrition to keep his immune system boosted too. So I got to thank Steve for his great product and all his support all the time too. We'll see him at the Olympia in a few weeks. He's going to be up there. So thank you guys all. If I left anybody out, I'm really sorry, but it's not on purpose. It's not I don't love you. It's that I got a little bit of carbs in me, a little bit of fluid, and I'm feeling a little better. So as it starts to come back, if I have more people that I forgot, it may be a part 3 of this. So BioStreetTraining@gmail.com. I'm BioStreet, and I approve this message. And we're out.